What's up, guys? Gem Mint here. Last night I was scrolling through Facebook and I happened to see a post talking about the creator, the author, and illustrator of Berserk, Kentaro Miura, had passed away.
Author of Berserk has passed away. He passed away almost 2 weeks ago on May 6th. The family has kept it under wraps for almost 2 weeks, and the news broke as far as I first saw on Twitter.
I bring you horrible news. The author of Berserk, Kentaro Miura, has seemingly passed away.
Berserk was never my favorite manga. My favorite manga has always been JoJo, but I can agree that Berserk is probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest manga ever created. The quality of Berserk is on another level from almost every other manga I have ever read. I can understand why everyone was upset when Berserk's author Miura died. Well, maybe not everyone. There were a few exceptions.
At this rate, the creator will die of old age before completing it.
I am always right!
Berserk was created in 1989, and at the time of Kentaro Miura's death, Berserk had 364 chapters. That's not a lot compared to something like One Piece, which was created in 1997 and has 1070 chapters. The reason why One Piece has 1070 chapters and Berserk has 360 chapters, it's because a single panel in a Berserk manga may have more things happening, more things you can look at than an entire chapter of One Piece. The reason why it took Miura a long time to release a chapter, well, it's because Berserk was not only a manga, it was a work of art. I called Berserk the Game of Thrones of manga. I have a friend who does not read manga or watch anime. It's stupid to him. He loves playing Dark Souls and he also watches Game of Thrones. So I kept telling him, bro, Berserk is literally the Game of Thrones of manga and Dark Souls was inspired by Berserk. Finally, he read Berserk and he was like, fine, I'm gonna read this shit. A week goes by. He calls me out of nowhere and tells me he finished reading all of Berserk. And this was a guy that did not like mangas, that to this day has not read any other manga. That's how good Berserk was. Berserk was a masterpiece, and the death of Miura was a massive loss to the manga industry. I'm going to be talking about something else entirely, and hopefully, this will all make sense in the end. George R.R. Martin. By the way, do I have to say RR because I sound like an angry dog? I'm just gonna say George Martin. Martin created the books that the TV show Game of Thrones is based off. A lot of people came to Martin and said, we want to create a movie based off your books. And he always said no, until one day two men came to him, and Martin gave these two men a test.
And he said, so who do you think Jon Snow's real mother is?
This was a test.
It was a test.
It was a Wonka test.
Absolutely
yeah.
a test question. And we got it right.
We got it right.
And I think we were the first ones who got that question right. So we got the go-ahead.
Because these two men passed the test that Martin gave them, he trusted them. He said that yes, you too can make a TV show based off the books that I wrote. Martin was involved with Game of Thrones for 4 seasons. And the moment he left, and these two people that were close to him and he trusted took over the show 100%, the show started falling apart. Game of Thrones was on its way to become the best TV show ever created. But the moment George Martin left, the TV show started dropping in quality. Season 5, 6, and 7 were not terrible, but season 8 was an abomination. Game of Thrones was butchered. It was butchered because the two guys who created this show didn't actually care about Game of Thrones, because it was not their creation. The only person on this planet who truly cared about Game of Thrones was George R.R. Martin.
Daenerys is our queen. She shouldn't be. You are my queen. I don't know what else I can say. You are my queen.
While
She is my queen.
Now let's go back to Berserk. Miura died, but Berserk keeps going. How is that possible? Well, Miura's editors and a good friend are continuing making Berserk. And right now, you can hardly tell a difference. Just because Berserk is still great, it means nothing. Because Kentaro Miura was literally the only person on this planet that truly cared about Berserk. The people who took over Berserk, they may do a great job. They may love Berserk. But the only person who truly loved Berserk was Miura, because it was Miura's creation. The fact is that Miura was literally the only person on the planet who knew how Berserk is supposed to end, where the story was supposed to go. Even if he told everyone how the story is supposed to end, no one can see inside of his mind to truly know how the story was supposed to end. Even if Miura gave step by step directions on how Berserk is supposed to end, it will never be 100% the same way Miura intended it to end. And therefore, Berserk for me, after chapter 364, is no longer canon. Berserk for me ended during chapter 364, when it was revealed. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil it, but you know. It was a pretty big cliffhanger. Now the question is it worse to end on a cliffhanger and never get a true ending than having someone else continue the story? Because, in my opinion, now this is everyone's own opinion. There are no right or wrong answers. I don't know if it's better for Berserk to have ended after Miura died, or it's better for Berserk to keep going as fanfiction. Because whatever Berserk is doing right now, it's fanfiction for me. It's not canon. Because it's not Miura's pen on the paper. Like I said, there are no right or wrong answers. But in my opinion, Berserk should have ended after Miura died. To end this video, I will be playing my favorite moments from the Berserk anime. And no, I'm not including the 2016 and 17 abominations. Yeah.